Welcome to the MBM Vault, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. I'm your host, Nicholas Carlo.
And Sophie Young, and this show is all about music, local talent, industry news, and most importantly, fun.
So Jacob is not here today, so I'm going to be filling in for him today, but we also do have a special guest. We'll be interviewing a first-year student from the MBM program. This student is a country singer and songwriter hailing from Whitby, Ontario. Please welcome Adrianna.
Hey guys.
How was your commute here? How was it?
It was pretty good. There was a little bit of traffic. Luckily, we didn't get too many red lights though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Right,
pretty decent.
First thing we'd want to talk about is just like the brief demographics. Like, what is your brief history of where you came from in the music industry?
Well, I first started taking vocal lessons at the age of 4. I actually first ended up finding my vocal coach on Kijiji. I was one of her first students, and she was actually she used to be a Sony artist.
Sony artist?
Yeah.
Oh.
For how long? More details on that.
I'm not sure. Maybe 10 years that she was with them.
So lots of experience then.
Yeah, she was with them for quite a while.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool. So I believe you're a country artist, right?
Yeah.
Is there any reason in particular that country speaks to you? Just tell us more about that.
Okay, I've always been into country music, but I first started getting into it when my aunt first started showing me country music when I was younger. And then ever since then, I've just always been a huge fan of it. My family even told me when I was a little baby. I think they said the only song that used to make me stop crying was Forever and Ever, Amen.
Well, what were other songs that they played around the time? Was there a certain decade that they always played to you? What is more of where you got that from?
I don't know if you guys know this song, but do you know When the Saints Go Marching?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, Travis Tritt, all the oldies. So yeah.
Yeah. And you also told us that you named 2 of your biggest mentors in Roberta Michelle, as well as a CMAO award winner in Ellie Saunders. Tell us more about them and how they've influenced your career and what you've decided to do.
So my coach, Roberta, she has been in my life for so long. She's been my vocal coach for 14 years now, which is absolutely insane. Even when I lived in Singapore, I was still doing lessons with her when I would come back for the summers. We were always catching up. She's just always been there for me, literally through everything.
In Singapore, tell us more about Singapore. I did not know this information. Tell us more about how that country is like.
I lived there for 3 years. I moved there when I was 5, and I came back when I was 8 because my dad ended up getting a job there. So it was quite the experience. I will say, I miss seeing my family a lot because I only really got to see them for 2 months out of the year, but it was still pretty good.
That's cool. Many people can say that they live there. So I did some research about you. We saw that your songs, Girl in the Mirror and Burnout, have both charted on the iHeartRadio Top 10.
Yeah. So there's this iHeart station called Break, and they ended up seeing my songs and they really liked them. So I ended up entering my songs into there, and I somehow was able to get onto their station, which was really exciting, and hopefully this new single that I'm writing, I'm also able to get it on there and push it more.
New single you're writing? Tell us more about that.
Well, I just started writing something new yesterday, actually. I don't want to say too much, just because I don't want to give everything away, but it's gonna be a banger.
So would you say that you write all the time?
I try to write as much as I can, but like sometimes you just can't get those ideas flowing.
Mm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Out of the main songs that got you charted on the top 10, so like the Girl in the Mirror and Burnout, like was there anything special about those two songs to you? Like what was the thought process behind it, and mainly like how did you come to think of those songs, and do they stand out in like your catalog?
Well, Girl in the Mirror was my very first single like, ever. I wrote it back in 2022, when everyone was still like getting back into the swing of things after COVID. And during COVID, I personally felt like really isolated. My mental health was not in the greatest place. I was dealing with like a lot of like self-doubt, self-worth, all that good stuff. And it's kind of just like a reminder that like you're good enough, and that you might want that validation from other people, but it's just important to be who you are. You just have to want to be that girl in the mirror.
Yeah.
Every day.
And that probably is a very big influential factor behind the lyrics as well. So that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us more about your perspective on technology and how it's helped you in your career.
I personally think that like for social media and like technology and all that stuff, if I could have started out earlier, like with all the social media stuff, obviously as a kid, my parents set me up with a YouTube channel, like probably everyone else. So they were just like posting all those little like embarrassing clips and everything. But if I had gotten the chance to like actually start off with all of this stuff a lot earlier, I feel like it could have benefited me a lot more. Because like, for example, this wasn't really social media, but somehow I was able to get on a TV show when I was younger.
Oh, tell us more about that. What TV
That's
show?
Cool.
It was actually a TV show in Singapore.
Oh.
It was basically like Sesame Street.
Nice.
Yeah. It was called Zumu.
Zumu.
Shout out to Zumu.
So what did the show like mainly consist of? Like in terms of, it was similar to Sesame Street, but like more specifically, like how would it work in like in terms of the culture, anything on the show, the producers?
Okay. I was probably 5 or 6 when I did this, so I can't remember too much.
Yeah.
But I do remember that like they had like all of these like little puppets, and like you would have to like talk to them, and like it was mainly just about like a zoo and like having conversations with all the little animals and like learning about them and stuff. So yeah.
So can you speak the language?
I used to be able to speak Mandarin, but it's been a while, so I can't really remember very much. But honestly, if I had the chance, I probably would try to learn it again, just so I can pick it back up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, they also speak a lot of English there as well, so that would
Yeah.
help you as well, right?
Yeah.
That'd also help your dad with the job that he landed as well. Does he speak Mandarin as well, or?
He doesn't. He always tried to learn German though,
Oh.
because I lived there too.
But there
Oh.
too. More about that. I'm interested now.
When I was 2, I lived in Germany for 2 months.
That's fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because my dad was like working on one of the new dealerships that they had.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coming up after the music break, we'll be talking with Adrianna about her present career, plans in the program, and involvement in the community.
Don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub on social media at DCSA Media Hub. You can also follow at MBM Vault on Twitter and Instagram at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
We're going to play some music. Here's Jesus Take the Wheel by Carrie Underwood, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.
Welcome back to the MBM Vault, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. We're your hosts, Nicholas Carlo.
And Sophie Young. We are here back with Adrianna to talk about her future plans and experience in the MBM program. So, overall, how are you finding the program so far?
So far I'm really, really liking it. I entered this program because as an artist, I want to learn how everything works behind the scenes. So like if something happens, if someone doesn't know what to do, or if like I have to do something on my own, then I'll know how to do it and I like won't be stuck.
Is this the first like post-secondary program that you've been into?
Yeah, I'm straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school?
Nice.
What is your favorite class so far out of the ones we've had to do?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Honestly, I might have to say maybe our class that we're all doing together.
Which
yeah.
Practicum?
Yeah, Sen.
Sen, yeah. I mean, that's part of this as well, and more about that. Like, was this program like kind of what you expected? Like when you thought of college and high school, like the first thing that was this what you were expecting?
Like in terms of the program or like the amount of work and stuff.
Anything in terms of the culture, like what it is as like living here and stuff. Anything about the program.
Honestly, just for like the school in general, I thought they were gonna have like homecoming or something. I thought we were gonna have like a lot more celebrations.
So you expected it to be like I guess there's a lot more group activities then?
Yeah, like what you would expect an American high school to be like, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unfortunately not quite like that.
Yeah.
So you are assigned to an enterprise.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I'm very excited.
So it's Townline. I was actually part of Townline last year.
Oh, that's cool.
I was an artist manager there, so it was school. Got a lot of experience, and let you tell us more about what it's like so far.
Currently for Townline, we're still trying to work everything out, but I'm really excited to not only be an artist for Townline, but also I am their social media manager too. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know like what the enterprises are and the MBM program, each of the students have to be part of an enterprise, which are managed by some of the year 2 students. So Townline is one of them.
And so is MBM Vault.
Yeah. That's another one of them. Now, why did you choose like Townline over the other ones? Like, did you consider any other ones, or what was your plans in terms of that?
Honestly, I had a few thoughts. I was thinking Townline, obviously, because it's really the only country label.
Mm-hmm.
Also, honestly, I just thought that it'd be really fun because I like looked at the Instagram and it looked like it would be really cool. But then, honestly, I was also kind of thinking MBM Vault or like Legacy. There was a few that were on my mind.
So, like, if you weren't to be like signed as an artist, like, would being a social media manager be like another thing that would like spark as an interest to you?
Not like as like a full job. Like, I want to learn more about like the social media aspect so that I can also do my social media as an artist better, because before I even think about like hiring someone else to do my social media, I need to make sure that I know what's going on and like know what's supposed to happen, so then I can like tell them if they're like doing something that's like not okay.
Yeah. So would you say being like a social media manager kind of helps you see from like their perspective if you were to have one, of course?
Yeah. Like this whole course in general just helps you to see like all the different aspects of the industry. So I've had people ask me, well, what if being an artist doesn't work out? Well, the thing about this program is that there's so many different jobs that they teach you about. You're always going to have a backup plan no matter what.
It's probably better to have those as well. It's like most people in the music industry are not just one thing. Like they'll have multiple different things. Like all these artists like you see, like especially people like Taylor Swift, where they do a bunch of different stuff in terms of their marketing and social media, especially now where the main revenue stream for artists is doing tours and shows. Like, you gotta know more about that aspect as well.
Like,
So I completely understand.
live performances are huge right now in
Yeah.
the industry. So, for those of you who don't know, Breakthrough Events recently hosted an event where Adrianna performed. Tell us more about that experience for you.
So this was not actually my first time performing at the school. My first performance ever at the school was actually during the first week. I was so excited for it, and when I got there, they were like, "Oh, by the way, you're our headliner." I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" I didn't know until like right before they started the show, and then by then I was like, "Oh my god, I really gotta get like a lot of songs in line for this." So I ended up going on at like 8-ish. I didn't finish till 9:30. So I was singing for a whole hour and a half.
Have you done something like that before, where you like sung for that long?
Yeah, like last year and I'm also doing it this year, but like I do like this Whitby Festival of Lights.
Oh, yeah, I heard
And
that.
like I will say last year it was not the proper weather for it, and they put me as the last person to sing. But I'm gonna be like one of the first people this time, so that'll be good. But like, it was so cold, like my whole body was just like frozen in place.
That's gotta be bad too, like trying to play acoustic, like your fingers are just like...
Well, luckily I wasn't playing the guitar.
Okay.
I ended up using tracks,
Okay.
thankfully,
Yeah.
because like the person before me, I think he was playing like the cello or something. That wouldn't have been fun.
And can you imagine your fingers would be like icicles?
That also messed up the guitar as well, because in like a cold environment, like you can't keep a guitar in a cold environment, so
No.
that's
Yeah.
not going to be easy to do. No, so like
Guitars?
what is sorry?
Guitars are not built for Canadian winters.
Yeah,
No, they're definitely not.
they're built for Canadian summers.
Yeah.
So you also told us that one of the main stages you would want to perform on is the Grand Ole Opry stage. What does that like mean to you, and what have you thought about that stage, and why would you want to perform there?
So I've always wanted to perform on the Opry stage. It's always been a huge dream of mine, and I actually have sang on the Opry stage before.
Oh,
But not like in a show. So I went for one of the shows last year, and I saw like Lauren Elena and Scotty McCreery perform there. And after, we decided to go for the tour, because they do like a tour of the whole Opry. And the lady put us like last in line to go and stand in the circle on the stage, because like they have a circle cut out from the Ryman that they put into the Opry, and that's like the special place that everyone that's performing stands. So like she put me last, and then I ended up going up into the circle, and I just stood there and I sang Cry Pretty by Carrie Underwood. And then after we left, the lady, like the tour guide, she comes up to me, she's like, "Oh my god, you remind me so much of Callista Clark," and she's like one of my favorite singers. So then she says, "Give me 1 second." She goes into the back, she brings out the whole set list that Callista Clark had when she was at the Opry.
Oh, that's cool.
Singing
Oh,
the
that's-
day
yeah.
before.
that's
Wow.
sick. That's sick.
It was insane.
So that must have been like a really cool moment for you.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, coming up after the music break, we'll be graced by a live performance by Adrianna of 2 songs of her choice.
Don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub on the social media at DCSA Media Hub. You can also follow us at MBM Vault on Twitter and Instagram, and at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
We're going to play some music. Here's Fancy by Reba McCentry, live from the Media Hub at riotradio.ca. Welcome back to the MBM Vault. We're your hosts, Sophie Young.
And Nicholas Carlo.
We are back with Adrianna for a live performance.
Yeah, apologies for the technical difficulties, but we're back on air and we're here for the live performance.
Okay, this is my newest single, Noticing Me. Really hope you guys enjoy this one. I used to hide from my reflection, from attention, never wanna jump in to my life or follow my heart. Lately, been feeling so distracted, suddenly attracted, then overreacting to what I don't even want. But I can swear that it feels like something's coming into focus. Something in me woke and noticed that suddenly I was feeling less alone. I never noticed you noticing me. Now that I see it, I can't unsee the look that you gave me, like the sun on a daisy. All my petals open up. You make me believe in love. When I set my own heart free, that's when you notice me. You woke me in the middle of a winter, melted all the ice on the way down to the timber. Who knew that all of these roots led all the way down to your heart? Oh, I just knew the blossom of a flower was asleep under the ice. We skated around for hours on, but the spring always knew what I could have trusted from the start. I never noticed you noticing me. Now that I see it, I can't unsee the look that you gave me, like the sun on a daisy. All my petals open up. You make me believe in love. When I set my own heart free, that's when you notice me. Oh, I could swear that it feels like this could really grow into something. When I thought all my stems were broken, our love feels so green, like this could bloom and grow. I never noticed you noticing me. Now that I see the look that you gave me, like the sun on a daisy. All my petals open up. You make me believe in love. When I set my own heart free, that's when you notice me. Whoa. Thank you.
And Steph, man, you have a second song that you're going to play as well?
Yes. My next song is going to be one of my current favorite songs. It's called You Look Like You Love Me by Ella Langley. I've had this song on repeat for a while now. I just want to make sure. There it I was all but 22, I think at the time. I've been out on the road, lonely at night, nipping a while, so it's on my mind. Well, I saw him walking with his cowboy hat, and I thought to myself, I could use some of that. His boots like glass on the sawdust floor, had moves like nothing I'd ever seen before. So I walked right up and I pulled him to the side. I handed that man a beer, looked him in the eyes, and I said, baby, I think you're gonna want to hear this. Then I told him, Excuse me, you look like you love me. You look like you want me to want you to come on home. And baby, I don't blame you for looking me up and down across this room, drunk and ready to leave. And you look like you love me. Well, I was down at the local beach joint with a few of the guys, and this cute little country girl caught my eye. But boy, let me tell you, she was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen in a pair of boots. She walked right up to me, handed me a beer, and gave me a look like, let's get out of here. And that's when I realized that she was every cowboy's dream come true. She told me this right here. She said, excuse me, you look like you love me. You look like you want me to want you to come on home. Baby, I don't blame you for looking me up and down across this room, drunk and ready to leave. You look like you love me. So if you ever see me in a cowboy hat and you think to yourself, I could use some of that, don't waste your time. Just give them this here line. It goes a little like this. It goes, excuse me, you look like you love me. You look like you want me to want you to come on home. And baby, I don't blame you for looking me up and down across this room, drunk and ready to leave. And you look like you love me, drunk and ready to leave. And you look like you love me.
Amazing performance.
Thank you.
Well, that is the end of this episode. I look forward to seeing you here next week.
Don't forget to follow Adrianna on Instagram at Adrianna Hopman Music. Also, don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub on social media at DCSA Media Hub. You can also follow MBM Vault on Twitter and Instagram and at the MBM Vault on TikTok.
Join us next week live at riotradio.ca.